So, guys, speaking of writing, let's talk a little bit about
boy.
James Cameron
Segue.
Oh, someone who
writing a
can't write.
new
Awesome.
Terminator.
Oh,
Yes.
I would argue that Cameron can
yet
He
write.
another.
used to. He
Yet,
used to. Sorry, I should have corrected myself. He
it's
used
like
to be able to write.
yet another topic I just don't care about. So
Yeah,
fun.
We're going to
so
talk Avatar, Matt, okay?
yeah, so James Cameron recently came out at Dell Tech World where he was on stage being interviewed. And he basically said that he started writing a new Terminator movie 3 months ago, but now he's putting it on hold because he wants to see how the real world AI shakes
Oh.
out before he finishes it. I don't know if that's because he wants the AI to finish the script for him, or
What kind of time frame is he looking at here? Like, is this does he know something we don't?
He needs to talk to George R.R. Martin about that, saying, hey, finish the book that way, man.
There you go.
Should I be really worried about AI in the next 6 months? I mean, I don't know what the time frame is we're dealing with here.
But
it'd be like Kadish going, yeah, I started writing Earthman Jack again 6 months ago, but I'm not now. I'm waiting for the AI world to catch up to it.
I was going to write about World War III, but I'm going to wait the next week, see how it pans out. And everybody's like, what?
So one of the interesting things that about this is that, so James Cameron has been tangentially involved in the last 2 Terminator films, Genesis and Dark Fate, where basically he just kind of came on set and gave it his blessing and said like, yeah, sure, like whatever. He's basically been checked out of this franchise since T2, right? Like that was basically like, I'm done with the franchise. But this is the first time that he's actually returned in a significant role where he's writing the new one. Now, after the disaster of Dark Fate, where it basically killed the franchise because, if you didn't like it, you were a misogynist, and the female quasi Terminator supposedly scared the shit out of every man on the planet. And the director basically flat out said like, hey, don't come see my movie, incels.
Okay.
But it'll work for the Little Mermaid.
This is something that could potentially relaunch the franchise if Cameron decides that he's actually going to make the movie himself. So I wanted to get your guys' take on this. Odin, what do you think of Cameron returning to Terminator, especially after committing to 5 Avatar films?
I'm actually, to be honest, I'm surprised is my initial reaction, because I thought he was going to end his career in Pandora. Like after he signed that contract, and he's been doing nothing but Avatar for the last 10 plus years, and he's going to continue going on with it. So I was surprised just to hear that was even a possibility, but also because of his tenure now in the Avatar universe and how he's been so obsessed and focused with it. I don't trust him as a writer anymore. Right. Had this been maybe when the first Avatar film came out, or even not long after, I would have still had enough of, hey, you know what? This is the first real movie from him that I'm really not a huge fan of, as far as, especially narratively. There's other things I can go back to still, but now it's like, okay, I've got an Avatar 1 and 2. You're just staying in this universe. It seems like we're going to get nothing but pretty much the same stuff. So I don't think he has it anymore to be able to pull off a Terminator 3. Now, I'm going to say right now, is that film, if he ever does it, going to make money? It might. I mean, when James Cameron is the one behind the helm, he knows how to work out those deals and communicate with other people to get people to go see his movies. But when it comes to whether it's going to be good or not, or whether I have any interest in it at this point in his career, I would say no.
He would kind of have to retcon everything after Terminator 2, right? And do a direct sequel to Terminator 2.
No, don't. No.
Yeah, that would be the only way I would have any interest in a new James Cameron.
It'd be fascinating to watch, because
with time travel, anything's
you
possible.
can do that with time travel, I guess.
But D-dubs. So obviously, Terminator is a Fox property, as is Avatar, which means that Disney is going to be the one to produce this new Terminator movie should it actually go anywhere. So how would Disney screw this up?
So there's a very interesting thing about James Cameron and his relationship with Disney. And that is that, yes, Disney distributed Avatar, The Way of Water, but James Cameron actually maintains almost total creative control, and his company maintains the rights to Avatar in such a way that Disney reaps very little reward in comparison to something that would be made traditionally by them. I don't know how this works with Terminator. I don't know if James Cameron holds on to vast special carve outs via a contract. We would have to look into that. And that's not an area that I'm an expert on. But I do know that when it comes to Avatar, it's not a traditional situation for Disney. Now, in terms of why would James Cameron want to do this, or will he do it? James Cameron has James Cameron money. It's special when your name is applied to that kind of a category and you are a party of one. He has well, let's say this. Tom Cruise has entered into a special category of actor where Tom Cruise can essentially do anything Tom Cruise wants to do. And James Cameron is that way from a director's position. I don't know why he would want to do Terminator, but he can do that if he wants to. If he wants to do, if he wants to resurrect Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he can do it. James Cameron can do anything he would like to do, and we'll probably all either go watch it or listen to everybody else who did.
How old is James Cameron?
I think he's in his 60s or 70s.
He's timeless.
He
He's the king of the world.
I feel like he should be
68.
90, but I know he's not.
Born in
So
1954.
Vader, Schwarzenegger has publicly come out and says that he's done with Terminator. And he's not doing it anymore. But I read Cameron's where he wants to see where AI ends up as being basically like, how can I use AI to deep fake Schwarzenegger?
Right. They don't need
Visually,
Schwarzenegger
AI,
anymore.
Yeah. So
maybe they cut him a check for his likeness and say, thanks, man. And
you can voice over.
Well, if Cameron were able to do like an AI generated Schwarzenegger for his next Terminator movie, do you think it would be worth checking out?
Sure. If it's a good script and everything, yeah, for sure. Why not? I mean, the AI now is to the point where we can have these actors play their young selves. Look at Indiana Jones coming out. There's a young Harrison Ford in that movie. Why they wouldn't be able to do that with Arnold and the Terminator? There's no reason why they couldn't. So the question of it being good that's hard to answer. I don't know. It depends on how it is.
Well, here's the thing, right? So like we had the situation where the Russos pissed people off by saying that in 2 years they could see an AI generated movie where it's all AI actors, stuff like that. To me, Cameron, like if he's able to recreate 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger and make the type of like Terminator movie that he wants to, and he could just type into a prompt how he wants the AI Schwarzenegger to act, and it looks and sounds exactly like him. Because the thing about Cameron is that he's always about pushing the technological envelope, right?
That's true.
And so like if he's able to basically utilize AI to make a movie where he doesn't have to deal with actors and stuff like that, where he can just basically control them.
First to make an AI movie, a completely AI movie.
Maybe is that what he wants? Movie. So he wants to make
a meta message. He wants to make a movie about AI. Yeah.
He wants to make a non-animated animated movie.
Exactly.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would be very open to this because if you've read his recent interview, I feel sorry for the man, and that sounds funny coming from somebody who has dramatically less wealth than he does, but he talks about in an interview, and I don't have the article in front of me, but he talks about how he still does the poses from his days of bodybuilding, but he does it alone, and he said that it actually brings him to tears because he's so saddened because he's 75. And no matter what he does, he cannot stay in the physique that he has tried to maintain his whole life. And you have to feel sorry for somebody who, is grieving that loss. He truly is. And so I think for the opportunity to return and see his physique as it was, I think might be alluring to him enough to bring him back as a voice actor.
No, he wouldn't even be a voice actor, right? Because the AI would just scan his voice and recreate it.
Well, that's a good point as well.
Hey guys, if you could do me a quick favor, if you like this episode and it tickles your fancy or any other episode that we've done in the past, share it on social media and tag us in that post so that we know you're talking about us, and we will immediately jump onto that app and we will respond to your tag, and we can talk about what you like about the episode and possibly talk about something that we might want to cover in the future. And we would love to bring you in our community. We have a wonderful Discord app as well. There's a bunch of people in there that just love chatting with us. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you like this podcast, tag us in that post and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you guys so much. Back to the podcast.
The whole point of what Cameron said about where he wants to see where AI is going before he finishes writing the script, I believe, is how is AI going to affect movie making, where basically you can recreate the voice, where like you don't even need a voice actor. You can just type it into a prompt and it reads it with inflection and all that stuff. You can use AI to basically create any special effect you want, to create any actor you want,
Mhm.
all this stuff. Where basically he's like, if I write a script for a new Terminator movie, and I can do it completely using AI. I don't have to have a cinematographer. I don't have to have animators. I don't have to have actors. I just need a computer that can create all this stuff that's in my head. And I can
Sure.
just sit there and type prompts all day until I get the exact movie I want. I think that's what he was saying.
But that's
at the
I don't
also
think that's far
that-
off.
that's also a reason that all of these people in Hollywood are striking right now. That's why the actors are going to be striking here soon. It's why Hollywood is being torn apart right now by artificial intelligence, because pretty soon we're not going to need writers, we're not going to need actors, we're not going to need directors. We're just going to need computer nerds sitting at their computer desk making movies. And
Prompting.
you know, it's a fascinating thing. It really is. I don't know what the answer is. Can they make a Terminator movie? They can probably make a Terminator movie right now with the technology they have. You know, so I find it all very fascinating personally, but I also I'm kind of understanding why these writers and these people are there. There's some panic going on here.
Big
You know,
panic.
because anybody on this panel right now can go to ChatGPT right now and go, "Hey, ChatGPT, write me a script for a 10-minute long YouTube video about why Disney sucks." And then it'll go, "Okay," and it'll go, "Brrr," and there you have it. You know, with a few minor tweaks, you have a video script, and it's not hard to do.
Well,
It's just
here's an interesting
it's
thing
wild.
about artificial intelligence and Chat GPT. I was listening to a lecture from a guy who has really worked extensively with artificial intelligence, and he was discussing how he had used hypnotic patterns, so strategies that you would use to hypnotize somebody in order to trick Chat GPT into bypassing its safeguards that they've put it on where they won't allow it to imagine. Now, has anybody heard that lecture yet?
Well, I know that Tim Pool talked about that.
Okay,
a while
so
ago.
There's a chat in here I want to like highlight really quick. It says from Tina Guzman, "I like the human factor in movies, not a computer that generates a movie." But the thing is, very soon you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So
the interesting thing here is once we get to the point where, and I don't know who's going to do this, but there's no stopping, right? It's an arms race. You can't
Yes.
stop it, because if you
Nope.
stop it in North America, if you legislate it here, they're not going to in some other place. And so this will never stop. The genie is out of the bottle.
Let me just highlight
Yeah.
another chat here. So like the difference is that movies have just traditionally been like huge like logistical productions, right?
Mhm.
Where you require millions of dollars, lots of people, lots of locations, stuff like that. And what Nicholas Sheridan points out here is it's going back to simply just an artist with canvas
Yep.
and paint. For the longest time, the greatest artists in history, they just needed paint and something to paint on in order to communicate their vision. And now computers are becoming the new canvas. AI is becoming the new paint. And sooner or later, like eventually you will have film students sitting there creating 2-hour-long epics,
Right.
3-hour-long epics, original series that are 6 and 8 episodes long, using nothing but a computer and just their imaginations about dialing down each individual performance from an AI actor, each individual location from an AI generated thing. Like the latest version of Photoshop, you can literally just highlight something and hit like generate, and then like it extrapolates stuff using like the new Photoshop AI. And it's amazing. And you're going to start seeing that translated into video very soon.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like at a certain point, it becomes the most freeing technology for an artist, but also the most scary technology for an industry.
I wonder. I can see like in the near future hearings and stuff on in Washington, and the end thing will be like stuff that was generated using AI will have to have like some kind of separate label put on it or something. You know, it's like this was made by people. This was made by artificial intelligence. You know, and
Well, copyright becomes a question too.
correct. It does. It's very it's a
so
very
does
strange
likeness,
thing.
right?
Mhm.
Like eventually actors or models could just license their look,
But
their voice.
AI could create someone that looks just enough like somebody, but isn't them. And then the question becomes, can you sue them for using your likeness if there's just enough subtleties to make it seem like someone that's completely different?
Can't wait for that new Star Wars movie starring Frank Sinatra and Elvis coming out.
Well, let me pretend to be someone in the 70s describing what the internet will be like. But I think in the 2040s and perhaps sooner, but I think you're going to come home and you're going to tell your computer that you want to watch Star Wars and you want to see Luke Skywalker be a hero and blah, 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 blah. And you've already paid for the license for Star Wars and for these characters from Disney. And so then it just generates a movie for you right then and there.
Don't forget.
I don't think it'll be as good as the best storytellers who work with it. And that will be the difference in the official stuff versus your own, stuff that you decide you want to watch at home.
Yeah, I can see Matt Vader coming home after a hard day of work and telling the AI he wants to watch the latest Geode, a Star Wars story film where The Rock plays Geode.
I'm gonna come home and I'm going, hey computer, Kadish was a real pain in the ass today. So I need something to make me relax. Yeah. So
I want to.
Can Geo be played by Sly? Can it be played by Sly so it can have the Rocky voice, please?
You want like
Vader's like, I want
movie.
to watch a Sarah Palin pornography. Can you generate that for me, AI?
Palin. Yeah.
I was going to say he wants a Jason Voorhees film where the person being killed has the face of Matthew Kadish on it every single time.
But you guys know that there's no foresight in politicians. I mean, these are octogenarians who are largely completely divorced from technology. We won't see any kind of legislation in regards to AI truly until it has an impact on their elections. And then they'll overreach to ludicrous levels and then it won't stop it anyway because, I mean, really, this thing's escaped.
This chat made me laugh too. Governor of California is going to be ChatGPT. The governor of California already is, my friend.
No, dude, ChatGTP could run that state better.
Probably better. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Why are you all leaving? Why are you leaving my state?
Come back.
What?
What are you doing? But also too, like I just with the AI thing going back to movies, who has the most money? It's the studios, it's the studio execs. So they're the ones that are going to be spending it on trying to help further develop this because they're looking at this writer strike saying, man, you know what? If we had this AI, there's no writer strike
and that's what the writers know too.
Yeah.
Well, also you don't need to be in the union to be a writer. Like writers are a dime a dozen in Hollywood. Everyone has a screenplay. So like if they have the technology to replace them, they could bring in scrubs and the unions would be powerless to stop it.
Yep.
The issue that the unions have right now is that they actually have a corner on the talent market because all the best writers in Hollywood are part of the union. But if Hollywood wanted to, they could just say screw the unions and then take in, writers from outside who want to break into the industry and just replace them. Writers
there's
are
good
a dime
ones.
a dozen. Yeah.
Because there's good ones.
They're
It's
the
like with
most
actors.
writers are the most easily replaceable part of a production, right? But the quality of the writers is the real question here. And most of the WGA members are not quality writers. And right now, during the economic downturn that's going on, and with studios tightening their belts, these unions are coming out wanting more money and more safety and more security as studios are laying off thousands and thousands of people trying to save money. It's the dumbest time to be doing this if you're in one of these unions.
Well, except Matt, here's what I think is happening. I think they realized that their leverage was about to decrease dramatically as AI became better. And I think that's why they pulled the trigger when they did.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.